What do we have to do? What do I have to do? What do I need to say in order for people to realize where the real power lies? Stay tuned. Howdy, folks. DaveMan here again, Rollman Revolution. Now, there's been things going on within the mainstream, and I'm not going to cover too much with the political stuff on this video, but I am going to mention some things in briefing because we've come to a point in history where if we do not be a participant, if we refuse to play any role whatsoever in the game is going to find a way to screw you over and your family over permanently. Now, anybody who has been following my channel for any length of time will tell you that I have been a supporter of President Trump, okay, since 2016. I wasn't a supporter of President Trump or any of the political people up until that point, literally because I've given up. I pretty much given up on the system in America, which we call democracy or a representative republic. I gave up on it. Why? Because many, many years ago, back in 2001, 2002, when I started on this little journey, I was in the Air Force ROTC program at the University of South Florida. I had this whole goal of going into the military and then possibly running for office. You know, I had this nationalistic spirit within me because I was always really, really good naturally at leading people, but also I just enjoyed that kind of work. Well, once I started to realize many, many moons ago that the apparatus that you see presented every single day out of Washington, D.C. is just that. It's a presentation. These people, majority of them, are puppets. They just play along, go along, get along, or at least they did. Then 2016 rolled around. I watched the debates like everybody else did every single year. And at the end of the day, the man who won was Donald Trump. Now, again, I had no idea. I really wasn't following too much, but I noticed that he was a little bit different. What caught my eye with President Trump was the first 100 days of his administration, the first go-around. He came in there and he did exactly everything he said he was going to do. Now, mind you, once he did that, promises made, promises kept, well, then you saw right out the gate all of the lawfare, impeachment, and nonsense that continued onto this man for the many, many years prior. Now, I want people to truly think. That's, again, the problem in this country is we have allowed people to tell us what to think rather than thinking for ourselves. Why do you want to do that? Why are you okay with somebody feeding you contemporaneous, endless streams of bullshit? Why are you okay with that? For those people out there, I'm not saying that you need to love one party or another, but you need to understand where we are right now in the thick of this story. Look, on November 5th, 2024, the people of America showed up for the first time in my entire lifetime to say, we've had enough. We are putting this man back in, and whatever he says goes. That's the mandate that came out from November 5th. However, what people in America need to realize, and that's what my job is to try to take what is complex and simplify it down in a way that you can easily understand so that then you can go and react yourself. I don't want you to believe anything I'm telling you. I want you to listen, and then I want you to take what it is I'm telling you and go apply it into your life. Go do the work yourself, because once you do that itty-bitty amounts of work, look just below the surface, you will discover the truths that these people don't want you to know. And the truth is that your government, for many, many years, I would say, let's go back to 1913 and the inception of the Federal Reserve Act system. Your country has had a stranglehold on it, and now the puppeteers of this country, the people that are all the billionaires, own all the greatest real estate, all the greatest buildings, all of it. Now, people ask them, those are the people who are in charge of this world. Now, the question is, how did they get all this money? How did they get, look, if you and I all started out on this road together, how is it that only this person, or a handful of people have all of the money? A very small percentage have all of the money. You know, everyone would say, well, oh, those people are really smart, Dave. They're really applicable. Some are. Yeah, some are. But to have 1/10 of the world's wealth, one person has all of that? I mean, really? How did they manage to do that? I'll tell you how they did it. They stole it. They used a system that they themselves and their friends in that elite group have set up so that it only benefits the people within that group. Meanwhile, the people at the bottom, the ones that are actually doing all of the work, all of the labor, all of the fighting in these wars, you, me, we're the ones that get screwed over by the people who say they have your back. So in November of this past year, the American people said, look, I've had enough of this shit. Now, the problem with that is it doesn't end there. You got to understand that this administrative state, this fourth branch of government, this group of people, these rich billionaires siding with all the major businesses and then having their stranglehold over all of the different agencies in our government. Once those people took control of all of that, it's becoming hell to try to get it back. So President Trump comes in there and he starts ruffling the feathers of everything. And you saw what happened. In a 4-year time period, that man was impeached twice, and then they stole an election on purpose to ensure that he never got back in there again. But this time around, guess what? It was too big to rig. Too many people showed up at the polls, and the Democrats didn't have any answers. But they also put in the worst candidate you possibly could imagine in Kamala Harris. Well, Donald Trump won in a landslide. Everybody knows that. The problem is now what? Now what? Okay, so you got him. He won the election. Great. So come January 6th or whatever it is coming up, we're going to have, Trump's going to be sworn in. They're going to do that whole policy, the process that they do where, what does Florida say? What does such say? What does this say? They're going to do that whole process. Trump will be sworn in and they'll say, yes, the election is true. And then he'll be inaugurated on the 20th. The problem with that is on day one, you have people already talking now about trying to hold up President Trump's elected position picks. Hold up stuff within the actual office's job so that they can't function on day one. But this is just a tactic, and there's going to be many more. You already have people in the Doge community going against the people who put Donald Trump into office, the MAGA base. And now I have to listen to some South African rich genius person tell me exactly how we're going to run our country. No, I didn't elect you, Elon. I didn't elect you, Vivek. And if we did, you would be the one we're talking about right now. But we're not. You're just trying to rub elbows with Trump and try to whisper in his ear. Trump is now coming out saying that he's been in favor of the H-1B visas. Well, look, I just posted a video from 2016 where he said, I used HBV visas. I think they're garbage. We need to get rid of them, is what Trump said. Now all of a sudden you can see the people talking in his ear. Like I said, this fourth branch of government, these people that you don't even know who they're connected to. You don't know what industries they're connected in. But this is what runs the nation. And that's the rot that you and I have to get out of there. We think that this is all over. Oh, we do an election now. It's up to just Trump to take care of it all. It doesn't work that way. If you take your eye off the ball, if Trump and his team takes the eye off the ball and allows just a small bit of wiggle room for this deep state, allow one of their people, two of their people, 3, 4, 5 of their people to invade the agencies, invade his cabinet, invade this process, these people are going to the mattresses to protect what they have stolen decades and decades and decades ago. Don't think for 1 minute just because Trump got back in office his second time that he's just going to annihilate everything right out the gate. He may want to, but he is not going to be able to. Why? Because the deep state, the intelligence apparatus is so embedded into the everyday functioning of this nation because once they allowed one bad guy in, that bad guy brought all of his friends with him. Or her. The game has been rigged against you and me for a very long time. And everybody wants to say, well, we did our part. We put Trump in office. Now I don't have to do anything. It's like democracy is not a spectator sport, my friends. It's something that requires your active participation on the daily. Now, I'm not saying you have to bleed it. I'm not saying that you have to love it and live it. But you have to know what's going on, and you have to react when things are going south. And when somebody needs, if we need to push the football in a particular direction, it's going to require all of us. If you are for this country, meaning that you want to put the citizens of this country first, the citizens which make up this nation first, then we're on the same team. If you're a person that wants to try to find a way to fuck the American citizens over, well, then that's the team that you need to go see. But it isn't here. So you got two options. Senators, representatives, all of the people that are running in these agencies. If you do not put this country first, if you do not put the American citizens of this nation first, you're going to have a problem. Not necessarily with me. I'm going to make your life a living hell, especially when I start hearing the names of the people that do it. I have no problems finding what each and every single one of you hold dear and squeezing the life out of it. I don't get mad anymore. I get even. And this nonsense has destroyed millions of American lives while benefiting a very small portion. 2008, 2009, 2010, the bailout of banks. Barack Obama took American tax money, your hard-earned treasure, and pissed it away to save the banks. Save the banks. Do you think anybody's here to save you? Do you think anybody's here to give you a break, to cut you a deal, to let you in on the action? No. They don't care about you. And if you think for 1 minute, because President Trump's now back in office, that this deep state or this administrative state, this fourth branch of government that literally has its hand so far up the ass of most of the people leading this nation, just webbing their heads for them, if you think they're just going to pucker away and go off and say, sayonara, you guys won, great job, we'll see you later. No. It doesn't work like that. These people are now going to double down and try to find any way they can to keep control of the power they still have. If you think that things are going to change while you do nothing, think again. It requires action. You've heard me speak about this on a previous video. It's very easy to know that knowledge leads to understanding, which leads to wisdom, which leads to the result you want. If you don't have the proper knowledge, meaning you don't have all of the information, the tools, the proper information, you're not going to understand anything of what's going on. My job is to sieve through all that crap and try to bring it down to you so that you can understand this at a second grade level, because they've complicated the hell out of it on purpose, making you think that, oh, this is the business of government. You little peons down there don't understand the hard work that we do up here. It's complicated, everybody. It's complicated what we're doing up here. You got to be a lawyer. You got to be a learned person that's got degrees all on the wall. You got to have all these degrees from Harvard and Yale. You got to have a PhD. You got to have your bullshit so piled high and deep in order to work in that apparatus. At least that's what they tell you. But they ain't doing anything. And they ain't building any rocket ships over there. This is easy, everyday business. Most of these idiots have never run a business in their life. But yet, they're making business decisions using the American tax dollar, your money, your savings, your future, and pissing it all away. They're making decisions constantly in which benefit them and the people that have put them in those positions, while you and I sit at the bottom and suffer. No. This shit stops, and the way it stops is you get involved. You and I get involved. When we see something that's wrong, we speak about it, we talk about it, we share it, and then we go and attack at it. The way we win is by consistent, nonstop moving forward. You have to fight off your front foot. If you're fighting going backwards, you're going to exhaust yourself and you are going to lose. No. The way we win is to punch them in the mouth, and when they're ready to say something, you punch them in the mouth again. I am done listening to this nonsense. Speaker Mike Johnson does this. Oh, Chuck Schumer does this. Oh, it's back and forth between these people. It's never one person's fault or the others. They always are blaming it on other people. When? Let me ask you this. When has this government ever held its own self accountable? It doesn't. It's always blaming somebody else. And even sometimes it blames you. Oh, the American tax, or you're so privileged. You don't realize how good you have it here in the United States. Screw you. How good I have it in the United States. There are many other countries I could move to right now where using the skills and labor that I have and make a lot more money and make it go a lot further than right here in the United States. So stop selling everybody the bullshit that this is the best of times nonsense. You have stolen Mother Hubbard's cupboard, and we're coming for every single one of you. Every single one of you that have betrayed this nation, have put everybody else, including yourself, before the American people. Yeah, we're going to come for you. We're going to come for your family. We're going to come for your livelihood, and we're going to rip it all apart. I'm not talking about violence. I'm talking about using the justice system, using the law. Because I thought we were a nation of laws. Are we a nation of laws, everybody? If we're not a nation of laws, then what the hell are we doing? I am done. Where the system, we're going to throw this person in jail and this person in jail because we don't like what they say. But if you can prove and show the receipts of all of the wrongdoings of this administration and the ones before that who have been playing these games, if you can show the receipts, let me ask you a question. Why is a judge not looking at this? Why are lawyers not pursuing this? Why is Hillary Clinton not in jail? Barack Obama in jail? Joe Biden in jail? Why? Oh, no court in the land would ever want to hear that. Says who? Bring it down here to Florida. I'll listen to what the evidence is, and we'll make a determination. I'm sick and tired of your betters, these people in these upper positions who are criminals. Because criminals only put other criminals in other positions because they want to make sure that they cover each other's ass. Because a criminal knows the only way he's going to get away, he or she's going to get away with what they're doing is to have another criminal buddy protect them. And that's what this racketeering system, that's this whole game. That's the whole setup in Washington, D.C. And I've had enough. I am not sitting here recording videos and going out in the field every single day to talk to people because I'm okay with it, because everything is just fine. No, everything's not just fine, okay? I will even call Donald Trump out on some of the things that he says if he's wrong or if I don't agree with him. America is a republic. We have representatives in Washington, D.C. who are supposed to represent you. That's what your tax money and all of this money goes to. But yet, every single year, guess what? They betray you. Well, not all of them, but majority of them, they betray you. They go against everything that is for this country, and yet they keep their jobs. How is it that you could suck at your job as much as they do and manage to keep it? You let me know in any other sector of this United States, if you were this awful at results at your job, tell me how in hell's name these people keep their jobs. How? Why do you keep re-electing these crazy liberals with green glasses and purple hair to Congress that have absolutely no understanding of what real life is for real people because they have not lived in the real world. They live in this little box called D.C. That's their whole life for decades. And look at the country over the last several decades. Pew! Shit. And it's not getting any better. And if you think that you're just going to wish it into existence, it doesn't work like that. Knowledge. You first have to know what's going on. Then with that knowledge, you take it. You look at it. You landscape. You reassess the scene. Because now you have a better understanding of what's really going on. And once you have that knowledge and now you understand the game at play, well, now you can make your move. Now you can make your absolute move that pushes things towards the direction you want. You want, not what they want. We are on the same team, America. We prove that in November. And anybody who's still on the outside, I hate Trump, I hate Trump, I hate. What are you hating? Only the unloved hate. There's no hate issue here because most of the time you don't even know what you're hating. It's all probably bullshit that has been told to you. My job and the job of the American people is to brute force, what they call the tip of the spear. You are the one on the end. The only way we get to what we want is by you and I working together for the common cause, which is the generic cause. I call it the generic. We all want the basics of life. We all want everybody to succeed, blossom, bloom, and thrive. Every American I don't want to see other people suffer. I don't want to see people have to live paycheck to paycheck to paycheck. But yet you have a government that has the capability of preventing this. You have a government who has the capability of righting these wrongs. And they haven't been doing shit. They haven't been doing anything. And now you got the academics sneaking in there. The Elon Musks and the Viveks of the world are going to tell me how we're going to do this. No. We're not going to do it this way. Your job is to look at the budget and see where you can make some cuts. That's it. When it comes to policy, we're not going to deal with that. That's not you. If you want to run for office, you go ahead and run for office. Until that time, the H-1B visas, it's a scam. It's a big-ass scam, and you know it's a scam. So I don't even want to talk about that issue anymore. But bottom line, my friends, I love this country. I do. It's the only place right now where I can go in a variety of different directions. And there's beauty to be found everywhere. This is across the world too right now. But this country can get inherently worse overnight. And you saw what happened in a very short period of time. These past 4 years. Now just imagine doubling that, tripling that. Where you have no say-so in your medical choices, where you have no say-so of whether or not illegal aliens come in your neighborhood or not, where you have no say-so if your tax money is taken away from you and given to somebody who's not a citizen. That's the country we were heading towards. If you want something that is all yours, putting this country first, American citizens first, then you have to be a participant in the game. You have to ensure that the things these asshats said they were going to do them. You have to ensure, you have to hold their feet to the fire every day. And when they don't, you expose them. You take what they hold dear, what they try to hide themselves in, and you squeeze it out of them. And you force forward. That's why I'm saying the only way these people understand anything is by punching them in the mouth. Figuratively. But once they start to open their mouth again, another one, and another one, and another one, until they understand that it's our game. It's our turn. It's our time. We're not playing the games anymore with these people. The American people have spoken. If the deep state wants to go steal shit, go to China. Go hang out at Xi Jinping's house. Go over to Russia. Try that shit over in Russia. Try the crap that you are doing here to the American people over there, over in China. Go ahead. Go ahead. I can guarantee you that the Russian government would end up shooting you in the face almost immediately. Same thing with Xi Jinping. They don't have time for that. But here in America, we put up with this nonsense. Look, we're having people right now arguing about what a woman is. No other countries are really doing that. We're doing that here because we're crazy. Because they just want us to focus on stuff that doesn't matter. Get us all confused. Get us fighting against each other. Oh, he doesn't like that. That person's a racist. That person's a sexist. That person's a this. That's all they want to do is put a label on you and I and then get us to fight so we're not fighting on the same team. So we're not fighting for the common cause. No. That ends today. That shit stops. You want a better country, then you make it better. I make it better. I chart the course for the path that I want. My intention is everything. And if my intention says we're going to have a free nation with all the liberties that this fucking Constitution says we're supposed to have, you can damn well better believe that's what we're going to get. And if you start thinking like that and you start acting like that, all action is wisdom in process. You make the change. You are the one that has the impact in your life. Don't think for one minute. You think for 1 minute you're this powerless. Oh, I don't have any power. Look at me. They'll just crush me. Not when we are all on the same team. Not when we all are aware of what's going on. Not when all of us have the true knowledge. Not when all of us have a clear understanding, and not when all of us are rising to the occasion with the wisdom we have learned through our living experience. No. This is you and me versus this nonsense. And it starts today. You want a free nation with all the liberties you've ever wanted? Then fight for it. You have to fight for this country. Ben Franklin told you, you have a democracy. You have a representative republic if you're willing to keep it and fight for it. Too many of us were told, don't worry about it. The government's got you back. We got you covered. And then for decades, they've been stealing it out the back door, giving it to their friends while bankrupting this nation and screwing you over, making your life 100 times worse. No, it's over. It's over. You know why? Because you and I are in the game now. So let's fight, let's look, and let's know what the truth is. Let's know who the targets are. Let's know what we need to do next. Because when you and I have open lines of communication, constant transparency, no more BS, no more constant noise, oh, such and such said this and such that. No. The only way you're going to know anything is by doing the work yourself and communicating constantly with people who are in this field. Stop listening to the mainstream. Stop listening to your favorite radio host. If you noticed, most of Hollywood's falling apart. Most of late night television's falling apart. All of public access radio's falling apart. All government type institutions are falling apart. Why? Because they became woke, that nobody has any relation to. A small percentage of the population who is easily brainwashed are the only people that actually believe those people. Anybody who's living real life in the real world, doing real things, knows that all of the stuff that you see up there is a goddamn charade. All designed to make you think government is happening. You see all the business of government up here. I used to listen to Nancy Pelosi say that all the time. Oh, the government of business is a very, very important thing. Kiss my ass, lady. I've never seen people so full of their own shit. They must drink their own friggin' damn stuff. That's what it is. They're all high on their own supply. These people are complete and utter morons, but yet they're not, because they have the moron population consistently voting them in. You want real change, then you have to pay attention to the things that are causing the problems in your life. Most of the time you don't think it's these people. Okay, fine, because you don't see them every day. But they're the ones making the decisions. And as long as they're making decisions and they're corrupt and they serve themselves, well, if they're only serving themselves, guess what? There's no money left over for you. And if you think for 1 minute that Nancy Pelosi cares about this democracy and your little ass, forget it. She doesn't even care about her husband. Nancy Pelosi is only concerned about how much vodka she can get in her sippy cup. That's about all she cares about. Nothing else matters to that woman. And that goes for a majority of those people up there. Old, decrepit traitors. I think we should go after all of them. I bet you if all of us started digging into the representatives and senators and leaders of the state or region that we are in, when you really know, start really digging into what these people are, you'd be quite surprised. Many of these people you would not want to invite to dinner. Many of these people are sick, twisted, garbage human beings. But yet, they're leading us. How does that happen? I'll tell you how it happened. Your CIA, your deep state, your rogue government slowly started installing people into key positions that they knew would have great influence in the areas they needed at the time they needed. Which is why you hear me constantly saying, the way you change this nation is through brute force, 100% participation by every activist individual in this nation, and also by putting the right people in the right place at the right time, whilst removing all of the wrong people in the wrong place at the wrong time. That's what we have set up right now. Donald J. Trump is going into an office that has a lot of these deep state actors in every sector of the government. In the Department of Defense, the DOD, you got them in the Pentagon, you got them in the CIA, the FBI. They're in every apparatus you could imagine. The only way you're going to get rid of them is to get them all out. All of the appointees out. Start fresh. We're going to review and renew, and we're going to sit down with every single person in there. What do you do? What is it your job role is? Who it is you work for? What is it you... We need to know what we have. You want to find the root cause of anything? You got to dig deep. And you have to call people out to their face. I don't care if Elon's a billionaire. I don't care if Elon doesn't like me or not. I don't care if Elon lives, dies, or grows mushrooms in his crack. I could care less. All I care about is this nation. If he's on the team for this nation, great. We're on the same team, and I like him for that. But if he wants to play the game of politics, where he starts to fool around, now that I've got a little bit of power up in this, and the first major decision or conflict, you go on to Twitter and tell everybody that you're going to face F them, okay. That's when I go, okay, he may be a rich billionaire, but he's a child. So what do? We don't allow children to make decisions because children unfortunately, are not mature enough to make those decisions yet, right? So that's why we say, oh, you're not an adult until you're 18 because you may not make proper decisions. This man's not 18. This man's in his late 40s, early 50s. I don't know exactly what it is, but yet he walks around like a child. He talks sometimes like a child. He is a smart man, and I have a lot of respect for him. But when you do stuff like that out the gate and then point fingers at the people that put President Trump into office in the first place and tell them that they're morons and retarded, yeah, I got a problem with that. I got a problem with you because you call everybody retarded. Well, okay, we'll sit down. We'll sit down. Why don't you sit down with me? We'll sit down with a whole bunch of the American people. I can guarantee you'll be quite surprised. I don't think you've talked to everybody, Elon. I don't think you morons up in Washington, the ones that have been sitting there for 35, 40 years, I don't think you really have a connection to the American people. But that's going to change. And it's going to change this year. So stay tuned. Watch out. Because not only MAGA is coming, but I don't think you've ever seen Hurricane Dave. Most people have never seen me fly off the handle to the point where it's not going to be good for the person who's directly in my sights. We all have a mission, and that mission is to put you and me first. This nation, which is filled with wealth, filled to the brim with wealth, yet is all pissed away. And yet, they're coming to you and to me for more? No. The answer is no. And the only way we fix it is by you and I getting involved. So get involved. Get out there. No more excuses. Don't tell me, oh, my life is hard. My rent's going up. Yeah, I know. Because we've allowed this stuff to go on for so long. You want it to stop? Get involved. Stay involved. Take over the jobs. Put people that you know in those positions. If you want change, you have to become the change you want to see. Knowledge equals understanding equals wisdom, which gives you the result you want. Let's live in wisdom, my friends. And let's fight for the future we all want. We all desperately need. I'll talk with you soon, my friends. Take care. Keep fighting.